I'm Stephen McCauley, and Derry, Londonderry, is my hometown. In the second instalment of our short films featuring inspirational artists from the Northwest, I've come back to the Playhouse Theatre to catch up with Soak, aka Bridie Mons Watson. We'll find out how the first few months of 2013 have unfolded for her as a singer-songwriter, and also for the wider music scene here in the city. Well, Bridie, it's 2013. It's here. There's no running away from it. So it started off with Sons and Daughters. That was the big opening concert, and it was an incredible night, wasn't it?
It was pretty amazing. I mean, like, just all the acts that were there were great. The whole setup and the atmosphere, like, did you see the atmosphere in there? It was like...
It was remarkable.
Everybody was just so buzzing for city culture and just to be there, and I thought that was class.
I think for me, the thing that really struck me was the fact that you had that lineup for the first time in history together on the one stage. All these massive kind of international Derry icons, you know.
Now for tonight's youngest performer. She's only 16. She is a huge talent, and she's here to sing her own composition, Sea Creatures. Please welcome Soak.
I feel like that was kind of like my introduction to the wider Derry audience, you know, like the people who wouldn't necessarily come out and watch gigs around town. That was a great way to sort of get what I can do musically across.
I'm Soak and this is Sea Creatures.
I was the youngest on that stage. Like, to be so young and among that lineup, like Neil Hannon and just everybody, and then Frank doing the orchestra was so cool.
The stars and moon remind me of you. I don't know what to say. It might make you worse. I don't understand what her problem is. I think she's just a fish.
Well, let's talk about the orchestra, because the orchestra was a major feature in your song.
Yeah.
And I remember watching, and you know, I'm used to seeing you playing Sea Creatures solo acoustic, but halfway through the song, this massive orchestra came through. So, you know, what was that like for you doing that live?
It was one of the best things I've done with that song ever.
I don't think they know what love is.
I've played Sea Creatures about 400 times now, and it's the same thing, and I try to change it up in tempo-wise and put different words different places. But the orchestra was so tight and the arrangement was so brilliant that it just worked brilliantly.
But I suppose whenever you play that live yourself on your own, you can dictate the tempo, but when there's an orchestra, you've got to get that right.
Exactly,
right?
yeah. When I'm playing live, I can slow down, like even by a tiny bit, nobody will notice. But when you're playing with an orchestra, the timing has to be completely on time. Like if you mess up, then the orchestra's gonna mess up. It's not that it was difficult, it was just scary, because it's like, what if I don't do it? What if I mess up? You know what I mean? Even if I wasn't gonna, but it was just that like fear in the back of my head.
They don't really care. Sea creatures interfere.
It's funny because watching you doing that, you didn't look even the slightest bit phased at all.
People keep telling me that, and I'm like, really? Because in my head, I'm going like, no, 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 you know?
They don't know what love is. Throw it around like it's worthless. They don't know what love is.
There's a great sense of pride that night as well, I think, about the city.
Yeah. I mean, whenever Snow Patrol walked out on that stage, the crowd just went absolutely bonkers.
It is our great pleasure to be here tonight. Thank you so much for having us.
Whenever I played with them back before Christmas, they played Chasing Cars, and the audience was really into it, and they were really, you know, excited and energetic and whatnot. But it was a completely different atmosphere then whenever they played that in Derry, and it just had that little special feeling in it, and you can't really explain that, but it was amazing.
In terms of the rest of that wonderful lineup, I mean, what would have been your highlights from that lineup?
Neil Hannon, definitely. I mean, the sustain he did on his voice in that one song was incredible. I couldn't believe he did that. And I want to be able to do that with my voice.
I was born in Londonderry. I was born in Derry City too. Oh, what a special child to see such things and still to smile. I knew that there
Well, I suppose one of the next big highlights after Sons and Daughters was Other Voices, and it just electrified the city. There's no question about that. It's totally electrified. It wasn't just the Glassworks in Great James Street. It was every bar, every venue throughout the town. Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
How was your set at the Glassworks on the first night?
I loved my set. I mean, I think I played one of my best sets that night.
I am afraid of sleep. From depth of heavy heart to my heavy feet, a voice of smoke.
There was a great atmosphere that night, and I remember we were doing a broadcast for BBC Radio Ulster, and we were downstairs. We were in the makeup room when we spoke to you at that time.
It's not me. She's fast asleep.
Well, the man behind Other Voices is Philip King, and he's a huge fan of soak. How do you feel about Philip King?
He's got the best talent in the world, which is finding acts and realising they're just about to break before they do. Like, he realises what talent is, and if he likes someone, he really likes someone, and he just tells everybody about them, and he promotes them as much as he possibly can. And I'm so grateful that he gave me the opportunity to play on Other Voices, because it really has opened up my career to so many different people and different things.
Destroying a home and come running back to me.
Mixed with her humour and her accent and her charm is that steely fibre that's probably necessary if she wants to follow the path of an artist, which sometimes will be wonderful and sometimes will be very hard.
Back to stay, I'll bring her heaven, even if I'm stuck in hell.
Other Voices has become a really big feature of your career, because obviously, I mean, you made the massive odyssey down to Dingle for the first one, but this one is on your doorstep. What did it feel like to have it on your doorstep, having experienced the famous Other Voices in Dingle?
Even if it's killing me.
Every time I play another Voices stage, you always get the best sound ever. But I don't think I can beat that, because that was really cool. And it was nice to do new arrangements of old songs. Like, I played Snow for the first time in months there last night, and I really liked the new arrangement of that. And just, I loved being there.
I remember Damien Dempsey walking past you in the corridor and saying, "You're too good."
From depth of heart to my heavy feet, at the night transpiring deed slipped beneath what you've uttered.
Well, Brady, I've got a sneaking suspicion that we're going to catch up with you again very soon, possibly at the Radio 1 big weekend, who knows. But for the time being, thanks so much for joining us again.
Thank you for having me again. Thank you.